both are. Marvelous. Your efforts have borne even more fruit. A new piece of the tapestry has been mended. The weaver's been hard at work with the thread Starstone has borne her, and a whole portion of history has been rewoven. Rejoice, my friends, rejoice! For now we witness a tale from the eons torn from time, but now, thanks to you...
After the war was won, the Void Dragon remained a great threat to all existence. And so, upon the anvil of creation, the God Box was crafted. The void was locked within, but still the question remained: who would guard the box? The two generals offered themselves. They would give up life and glory to stand sentinel. Transformed into immortal beings, they would be the Void's eternal guardians. They placed the box and the guardians in the first garden, home of Astarte and of the world's most beautiful power, Source. For time immemorial, the guardians stood by the God Box, no longer human in body or in mind, but duty personified.
So that is who we were. Demigod guardians of the God Box.
That is not who we were. That is who they were, the ones that hijacked our souls.
We weren't hijacked, we were chosen. Indeed.
Welcome back. The rock spirit within me greets the rock spirit within you. me the Earth's vibration.
I salute you, my master. Other elementals lie in wait until with a word you command them to action. And that is your final choice?
Yes, it is.
Yes, indeed.
Thy will be done.
Good gods, what an infernal heat!
Feels like we've landed inside the heart of the sun.
You say they have no mighty still, despite their utter failure. A foolish creature, doomed of fate to lands and you are chained to certain downfall.
That remains to be seen. I do believe they will remember. I do believe I will serve them again, despite your tricks.
It is our trust,
What radiance burns from your being? Enough to scorch even the likes of me, I find. And that is no small feat. Most impressive, yes, most impressive indeed. Why, I am a soldier of fire. And does this landscape not befit me? I have lived here for eons, since the first great peace, when the world as your kind know it was first secured. We were invited here by a great leader, I believe. Yes, a leader, I'm sure it was. The details, they crumble like ash when I try to grasp, but the radiance of that time has never left me. Victory, blazing victory, adorned our heads like a crown of glorious flames. I'm sure one as radiant as yourself must... What do I know? Ha! Fire magic is me, and I am it. A far better question is, what would you like to know? Take care, my friend.
Tell me, O Weaver, if you know all that is past and present, does
Greetings, Source Hunter. I've a great many questions for you, if you've the time to answer them. Well, to start, I do quite wonder how this place came to be. A shelter plane at the end of time? Incredible! Next, I'm curious if you could tell me the exact weight of your partner. I'm guessing somewhere in the area of 20 if you had time. I'd also like to inquire after your dear mother. How is her health these days? And that rash on her right cheek? Healed? And finally, compasses. How in the God's 7 names do they work?
You and Zandalor have always been close, are you?
And so the mystery is...
Know anything about his...
Have you seen...
in advance if he'd been planning an affair with your sister?
How can I... Maybe you taught him a thing or two about...
Hello, hello. I'll tell you whatever you like, friendo. But it'll cost you. Oh, but when you give me that look, I can't help but offer you my finest deal. My loves to say, did you know I can fly straight up from here to eternity? It's true. What? Oh, don't go. Please, I'll show you a trick. Look.
So,
Tell
you
me.
have any interest in treasure, Source Hunter? Anything you'd like to share?
You know the future as well.
Alas.
Oh, I had the most beautiful dream, Source Hunter. A great fist came down from on high, unfolded before...
But we must both run our course before reaching reality.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. By all means.
Isn't it? Are we near a event?
What's the word, Source Hunter?
A
Say,
Every year.
have you seen my magic box? It's got all kinds of wonders stashed inside.
Gods, Death Knights, this is dreadful news. Worse than I could have expected. Death Knights are a terrible sign, Source Hunter. Historically, they indicate their maker's intention to wage total war. Fortunately, you're 2 steps ahead of my sister. That spell you've crafted will render her army utterly vulnerable. She'll not be able to hide behind tenebrium and dark magic for long. You're 2 steps ahead of my sister, Source Hunter. That spell you've crafted will render her army utterly vulnerable. She'll not be able to hide behind tenebrium and dark magic for long. So that's her plan. She intends to summon Astarte and the Void Dragon and overwhelm the goddess with an unstoppable army. With Astarte gone, there will be nothing to stop the Void from consuming all of Rivellon. Our mission is greater than us, greater than Leandra, Source Hunter. It is a quest to save all of existence from eternal blackness. Her plan must not succeed. Sister, what have you done? I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to... What's more, I sense a terrible force If I could only repair the fault... There are quite a number of imps here, my most honored guest. Ask, and I shall answer, if I can.
Takes to sap a human to vapor.
I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void, but suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children, new threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. These starstones, please, seek them so that time...
stashed inside.
Every year.
Dear Starstone Commanders, I do apologize for the state your homestead is currently in. It's like a zoo in here, or worse, an emporium. That's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God 7 or 700. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's imps. I know, but really, they're zany, they're exasperating, they're unpredictable, and they have about as much use for history as a professional clairvoyant has. Band of... Why, I'm not one of them! Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and their own inadequacies! But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for the vagaries of my own species. No. What I need is the sound of a symphony, a whiff and a swig of old tasty wine, and above all...
It's a nice sort of place. And we don't want to muck it up.
Well,
Every year.
aren't you going
Every
to
year.
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber. Well, aren't you going to leap through?
Now behave
Who knows
yourself,
what
you lot.
wonder awaits you?
This is a nice sort of place. And we don't want to muck it up.
I sense an eerie presence here.
Yes. Like creepy crawlies down the spine.
Here, here. You do not disappoint. I knew you would come this way. Room by room you encroach upon this territory, willfully torn from time. No, you do not disappoint. Something much more harmful still. You excruciate beyond all thinkable bearing. You have our thankfulness, our eternal gratitude, the acknowledgement of the void. So why do you fight us? Why do you stand against the promise of oblivion? Relent, Guardians, relent. You did your duty long, long ago. Do not undo what had to be done.
I did my duty? I wonder what he meant by that.
And I wonder why we had the thanks of those that long for the end of time.
I didn't expect to find the likes of you here. Fallen stars, forgotten angels from on high. How long has it been? An age? An eon? But you've changed quite considerably, I see. Yes, the divine is but a glimmer in the farthest reaches of your gaze. Well, perhaps I can help you. One of your kind ought to be a bit stronger of arm, a bit quicker of wit after all. And we are all counting on you, sir. My autobiography will hardly serve you. What's far more relevant is what I see in you. Quite crucial, your survival, isn't it? And you do seem such a reasonable sort to boot. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've got a mark of talent to spare, no deal can be struck.
takes to sap a human to fight.
You back to your homestead, but it seems the Imparium on the Imp plane at the end of Imp is far more appropriate. Did you? Most wonderful. Could I have a quick read? The Temple of the Source. I've heard of such a place buried deep within the forbidden confines of a cursed phantom forest. But first, you should go to Hunter's Edge, the village that borders those haunted woodlands. That is where Zandalor lives. The wizard Leandra is hunting. He is knowledgeable of the source, and his capture by the Void Seekers would be catastrophic indeed. Of all the wicked things, the one substance that can stand in the way of the void, and you'll have to redouble your efforts, my friend. You'll have to find more starstones before she does and forestall her insidious distortions. It shall be my pleasure.
Doesn't it?
How very right you are. These thoughts have been bubbling in my mind like so much drink in a still. But I believe they finally tracked. From what I can gather, the following stands to reason. The generals were put in charge of the God Box, but they must have faltered. The void must have escaped. Perhaps that faltering could explain why their souls were loosed, and why those souls now reside.
What's the word, Source Hunter? Why? It seems you're more than caught up, aren't you? You've already got the spell and the blood, both of which we'll need, if the spell is to be believed, just long ago, when Source was banished. A league of great men and women promised to protect its secrets. The Keepers of the Source, they called themselves. Our wizard is its last living member. That night in the King Crab Inn, Leandra was after something that only he knew. Find him, and you'll learn where to find her. He lives in Hunter's Edge, a village east of Lucula. When last I saw him, he was in a panic about Leandra's betrayal. It's possible that he'll have flown Hunter's Edge. You may need to investigate to find a hint of his whereabouts. Take this ring. It will mark you as my ally. If you should find Zandalor, he'll know I sent you.
Tell me, O Weaver, if you know all that is past and present, does that mean you know the future as well?
Alas, no. I can predict with a degree of certainty, but I cannot speak of what is to come unequivocally. Time and I are one, but we must both run our course before reaching reality.
Thanks to Zach humans. Wake up! The humans need more clubbing. Wake up, Daddy! Wake up! The humans need more clubbing.
Southeast to Hunter's Edge, north to incomparable suffering. Well then.
Southeast it is. For now, at least. I'd prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
Oh there. A word of warning, wanderer, afore you continue on your merry way. See these corpses here? Be a good fellow and take them as a hint that this town isn't the pastoral little paradise it once was. Immaculates, orcs and humans both, have taken Hunter's Edge. Its villagers are now slaves in the mines to the west, or they've been bled dry of their last drop of life, reduced to mere fuel that must light the wicked candle that is bloodstone. Long as you live in the limbo between coming and going, though, why not have a look at what I have to sell? You'd be surprised to see what a scouring skeleton can gather together in a dying town. Yeah! Well, don't go round angering immaculates if you want to keep your vitals intact. Though perhaps it won't be very long before they have a stab at one another's vitals instead. I have the feeling there's trouble brewing between the orcs and the humans in there, and who can blame them, really? Just ain't natural for them to consort, I say. Only good orc... Well, you know how the phrase goes. Can't say I remember who I was before the change came over me, but these days I'm a travelling trader of sorts. There's an immaculate necromancer in the village ahead. She's the one who brought me back from, well, wherever. She's an especially bright one, you know. Most necromancers can only revive a dead corpse into an animated one, but she manages to yank back some semblance of consciousness too. I don't remember much, but the thrill of trade certainly calls to me. Maybe I was a merchant in my former life. These days, most undead are busy haunting Sicil or picking the way in the Lucula mines. But I keep a low profile and stay out of sight. Haven't been bothered by an immaculate yet. and I hope to keep it that way. I know the weapons of which you speak. I've even hidden away a piece of one myself. I had planned to pass it down to my son, but maybe you could make better use of it now.
Come on, time's a wasting. Hey, you! 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 Come on, time's a wasting.
It's heating up.
Burnt, ruptured, trampled. Do you think I could have made
Toasty! You can speak. You don't look like a tribesman or orc, but I suppose I can't be certain. Then again, Jinxica is my name. And until recently I lived a placid sort of life among the people of Hunter's Edge. The baker might leave me a bit of milk left over from this breakfast. I had many friends here, but none so dear as a little trio. A married pair and their daughter, employed by the wizard to keep his home. If you come to this village to help and not to harm, you might be able to save those 3 kind souls from the orcs that have invaded. A kind but private man he is. He set up his home here several years ago, but never remained there long enough before jetting off to tend to some matter or other. The dark invaders seem very interested in him indeed. They've been skulking around outside the house since they arrived, but not even one of their would that an invasion were all. They destroyed every crumb of life they could find and sent their filthy rats to seek out those who evaded them. Each life they took infused their strange stones with power. Their queen glowed with delight as a parade of victims were slain before her. It was as though she was taking in a beat. The human tribe came shortly after. They had their own supply of the glowing stones, and the orc queen took no easy liking to them. Still, it seems they are working. They've survived this carnage so far by concealing themselves most cleverly. I've done my best to guard their hiding place from the slime-bellied rats attempting to sniff them out, but I fear my efforts aren't enough. Until the village has been savages by savages employed. The orcs have one among them, the rat catcher they call him, who claims to have trained rats to do his bidding. They've swarmed the place in search of hidden... But you're not like the brutes inside those walls. No, you approached me with hand, not boot, outstretched. Perhaps you could help me. With these rats running about, it's only a matter of time before my friends are caught. They must be squashed, every last one of them. I've done my best so far, but there are simply too many for one set of claws to handle. No, that bothersome old Tom. No, he and I are hardly friends. I can slip through these walls as I please, but you'll need to find your own way into the village. And remember, my friend, kill every last rat.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. Ah, yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalor is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all. I'm watching on with weary eyes how the Immaculates strike again. They've gone from shedding blood among their own to recruiting orcs and cutthroats to do it for them. From what it was once a quiet sort of village. Families and small-time merchants mostly. Recently, it was targeted by a tribe of orcs, waving... Their leader, Grutilda, is known far and wide for her cruelty and cunning. She oversaw the murder of countless villagers and used their blood to fuel a great number of bloodstones. Once they were dead, by order of Leandra, the orcs were joined by a tribe of humans from the northern peaks of Tanneroth. A band of male warriors are they, and they devote allegiance to their leader, Jarl. Jarl arrived with his own formidable supply of bloodstones, which means his tribe has been operating under directions from the conduit for some time. Where once they ransacked for base pleasure. These are far from the blindly devoted Immaculates of Silverglen, however. The orcs and the humans here alternate between bitter fighting and hostile peace. Personally, I believe they're best exploited through their rivalry. Get them to fight each other, and you can stand on the sidelines and warm yourself upon the flames. He has a residence at the far end of town. Though I have my doubts he's having people over for tea now that the Immaculates have left. Know that Zandalor is wily, so beware. If a wizard doesn't want you in his home, you'll... Nevertheless, his house is the very place you'll want to search. The accumulated knowledge stored there...
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
Ruptured, trampled. To think I could have made a fortune selling all of these little things.
What a deluge.
You there, Flatlander. Stay at your business. Come to play now the town's been taken, have you? Typical you Flatlanders. Lucky for you, the goddess don't discriminate against cowards. Well, come quickly then. There's still townsfolk on the loose, and the chase has probably made them wild as cornered dogs. One might pop out of a bush and take an eye before you can shout your own name. Better you first check in with the higher-ups. You've got Jarl, the righteous leader of Weird the Mountain, and blood-stained Grutilda, Queen Dog of the Giant Toads. Trust me, you'll know her when you see her. Now scram and make it...
I need to dry off.
Go on then, frog skin.
Nice humans and orcs don't get along, but I've seen a pair as thick as a troll's toe hair.
Comrade, did you hear that? It sounds like these Immaculates are at odds with the local orc savages. I'll keep a sharp eye out for anything we could use to nudge these factions closer to chaos. If we can get them to destroy each other, we'll kill 2 birds without even having to pick up a stone. Nothing would please me more than seeing Hunter's Edge cleared of the scum that destroyed it. I may not be...
Then why not stand up and face me, boy? 1-on-1.
They're keeping the peace for now.
Blasted mosquitoes. Never a moment's peace with these filthy vermin buzzing in me. Oh, ho, ho. Brother, I've crossed me pests. 'Tweren't a tiny winged bloodsucker whining at me, but a tiny-footed one. Brother, I think the human's asking me a question. Think I ought to tell the tiny pest who I am? Ought I tell her I lost this all in a scuffle with another ickle human? That pesky bugger might have got me on, but I've got something too. Is we...
Toasty!
Human, leave the house out, please. You'll come to work today, boss. I've got the human, and it's itching like mad.
What? Free to address your betters, are you?
I ain't afraid of a single frog-skin word.
It's hopping all the way to my boot soles.
They're keeping the peace.
Never rains, but it pours, eh?
The humans the one took it.
Big ugly brute.
Well. Thought you could get away with it, did ya? Don't look so confused, Pinky. The armory key. Hand it over. Painting my toenails pale lilac, of course. What does it look like, you ape? I'm hunting from the All-Mother's right hand. If there's something she needs done by someone she knows can do it, I'm the one she calls. It's small, metal, fits in a keyhole. Help us look or shove off, will ya? I've got to find the key before...
The armory is missing. It could prove rather worth our time to...
One side. I ain't got time for chatting till I find the damn thing.
Our resume's all
Not
glowing.
a damn thing in all the 12 hills of hell. This idiot orc has no idea where he's lost the damn thing. So he's taken to blaming me, a passerby. It's just like an orc to save his own skin by flaying someone else. You'd be too if you'd misplaced something of Gratilda's. I once saw her skin her own foot soldier alive for mispronouncing All-Mother. And he'd only done it after she'd knocked his teeth out for... What's worse is, the coward's blaming his troubles on me, only because I happened to be passing by when he noticed his armory key. I'd tell him to piss off and be on my way, but he threatened to tell Gratilda it's me who stole it. Somehow, I doubt I'll get to tell my side of things before my head was shorn clear off. What does that matter? Quit buzzing in my ear before I squash you like we did the rest of the pests in this blasted place.
You better hope the bleeding key shows up soon.
Thought you said it was me who pocketed it.
How in the second heaven am I supposed to know what you did with the damn thing?
Yeah, again, doggish customers take a dip in the river. You smell the wounded heart.
Alone again, Alfie. So
Look in every cranny now! Your mother won't like to hear a human's been thieving from an orc.
Is that what you want?
You know damn well I wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-handed pole.
So it was Johnson the key with missing just as you were waltzing through here. Your mother won't believe it for a moment.
Tell me how I can help it. Everywhere you go, this damn bleeding armor follows.
I haven't got hold of my...
Risk their lives for love, would they? I'm not expected to find foolish ignorance among hardened warriors.
Take it from a hardened warrior, Sourpuss. Once the battle's over, love's all that's left to turn to.
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's
History of so-called freaks who mark it. If we can survive this, we can survive anything. I can't say for certain, but darling, I do promise we'll make it out of here together.
If you say so. I haven't got hold of
Dunn's
my
probably
pocket,
lost
have I?
something of his own
We've got to
arse.
keep our hopes high, but our defences even higher. Shouldn't really forget us sometimes, but remember, above anything you might hear, I love you, and I will.
I need to dry off.
Yeah, against dogfish custard, they can dip the ribbon out. You smell the breathing hog.
It's no surprise a dainty thing like you can handle in a bust. Shall I run you a bubble bath, darling?
It's all mother.
They think we rose all charlie.
What do you mean by? Down to my mother, justifying my manner to a beast like you.
What's all this to dry off? It's all small bubs. I'd like to hear more on that subject.
Your mind's as filthy as your underarm. Go suck on a sing-song.
It's heating up.
Dunn's probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
So many of these skulls are still left.
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me.
The bleeding key shows up soon.
Thought you said it was me who pocketed it.
How in the second heaven am I supposed to know what you did with the damn thing?
Or am I wrong? But remember, above all, above anything you might hear, I love you, and ever will.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I? I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead.
It's all mother, I'll say. The human's the one who took it.
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead.
You know damn well anything he was said and then why not stand here?
Just as you looking through here, your mother won't believe it for a moment.
Behold these skulls,
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
They kissed.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Stay out of the top floor of the tavern, unless you want to get your eyes poked out. I've seen the bloke up there do...
The dog looks up at you with misery-ridden eyes. Its tail doesn't wag, and when it tries to bark, the dog hangs its head, then looks north, filled with fury. Hello again. Do you bring good news?
Big ugly brute making me do his dirty work. I bet his skull would make a lovely goblet for Jarl's mead.
Go on then, frog skin. We'll see who'll end up beneath those boots.
Is that what you call those things on your toes?
Sodden, all the way to my boot soles.
I'd never have judged a few grimy ground dwellers, and lost ones at that, to be worth all this fuss. Chief, feel anything strange underfoot? The orcs insist there's a cellar here, but we haven't found so. Someone got the brilliant inkling that the missing villagers are hiding in a secret cellar. This was their home, but there's no... The wizard servants they were. And the great queen goon of the orcs thinks they'll know how to get inside the wizard's house. Even if they don't, I suppose...
The orcs tore through this place like wild pigs.
Plates and rubbish. I ain't a bleeding maid.
Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can it...
What's the same about that
I can hardly tell which one of them was.
Is this one of them fancy
There's
scribble
nothing to
pages?
find in this
Never did
bleeding
trust them
dump.
myself.
Or am I wrong altogether?
Where could a gaggle of scared peasants get to?
Ain't there something behind here?
Behold these skulls bereft of the lips with which they kissed.
The orcs tore through this place like wild
Plates
pigs.
and rubbish. I ain't a bleeding maid.
I prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
I thought the same about that villager's kneecap. Is this one of them fancy scribble pages? Never did trust them myself.
Clean up, clean out. What am I? A goddamn scullery maid?
Tweak! Garrick was a kind sort of fellow. Always shared his lunch with the gods' fairer creatures. Imagine our dismay when that...
Many rats scurry in and out of this hole. Many rats scurry in and out of this hole. Where it leads is uncertain.
You there! The armory's off limits, you hear? Take another step and you'll be looking for your teeth at the end of a rainbow. 'Cause it's a goddamn crime scene, isn't it? Our bloody bloodstones were stolen. The old bloody lot of them! Everybody's pointing their grubby little fingers at Garrett 'cause he was on guard duty at the time. Yeah, it may be a tad suspicious that now he's missing. But I mean, just look at this shattered door. There's Orchid Bot written all over it. But I'm done talking about this mess. Ask Jarl if you're so bloody interested. Go find yourself a sheep if you're so bloody hot and bothered.
The sheep? I could do better.
This is too
The game's mine. And I do earn
Nice hand of cards, that one.
More, don't you? Cool. Look, I know I drank all the best ale, but that's no reason to keep ignoring me. No, go screw yourselves with a rusty mace, why don't you?
I told you where you'd find your teeth, didn't I? Now bugger off!
No, go screw yourselves with a rusty mace, why don't you?
I've spotted something.
What can I do for you? Good. No use.
The old tubber lad that did this, I'm feeding him his own netters.
Back to me. I'm gonna call it. Now for the
I'm drenched.
2 o'clock. 8 of hearts. Finally, Jack of hearts. Hey, stop that.
I'll call and raise...
No, go screw yourself with a rusty mace, why don't you?
Well, what's this I've spotted? Potent heat.
Cards are shuffled. Now, place your bets.
Just the one coin for me.
Good cards. 3 shiny ones.
And back to me.
Dancing dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade.
Finally,
You don't look like the rest of the immaculate that pass through here. 5 coins.
Going to call that hand.
Tits are
let's
parched.
go. Shut your mouth and go get some wine with them. You'll not get a peek at these prisoners without Jarl's permission. What's going on in there ain't for the faint of heart anyway. What are you up to sneaking around here? Got a soft spot for those damned to the rack, do you? Well, unless you've orders from Jarl himself, scram! Or you'll be next in line. Want to get your hands on the flare knives, do you? You'll have to see Jarl about that. The way I figure it, he'll be happy to have a reason to change the guard down there. We'll never find out where those villagers are hiding if these orcs club every last witness silk. See those cards?
Read 'em and weep, you amateurs.
I could do better.
Cheers. Oh, I wish there were other bottles of go around here.
I told you.
My kingdom for a dry shard!
Hey, conduit's orders. Best not to get on our bad side. You know that.